The mode dial is one of the most important buttons on our camera. It controls the functions of how the brain of our camera works and also communicates with our lens and how it focuses. There are many different settings on the mode dial that you can select. So today my goal is just to cover the very basics of the mode dial on a professional level camera, how it works, and what those symbols mean. This presentation is meant for Fundamentals of Photography. In Fundamentals of Photography, we'll be using a D3200, D3300, and possibly a D3400 cameras. So our learning target is that you're able to understand the basic principles of a DSLR camera, how it functions and operates, and learning how to use the mode dial is a big part of that. So here is a quick illustration and overview of a digital camera, and all the main parts are labeled. We will learn this vocabulary over the course of the semester. Do not feel like you have to learn it all right now. What I'm trying to show you is the mode dial is located on top of the camera, no matter what model you're using. Many different brands of cameras also have mode dials. They just look a little different based on what the symbols look like and how many different settings are available on the mode dial. So here's just a quick illustration of the difference between a Canon mode dial and a Nikon mode dial. I'll admit that this illustration is a little bit vintage, if you will, but if you look just real quick, what I want you to see is many of the icons are similar and many of the settings are similar. There's a lot of overlap between the different brands of cameras. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you learn one, it's easy to pick up and learn the other one. So for my people who have Canon cameras at home, it is fairly easy to pick up a Nikon camera and start learning it because the settings, after you learn them, are very similar. The auto modes. So the first half of the mode dial, or 3/4 of the mode dial, are all automatic modes. This is where the camera does most of the work for you, but my goal is to let you learn how to use your camera a little bit in the auto modes. We'll do a project learning the different settings, but our real goal is to learn how to run the creative modes or the manual modes on the manual side of the camera. The manual side of the camera are the creative modes that let you, the photographer, truly have control of all the settings on your camera after you've learned how to use them. This can become very powerful and set your photography above the rest. So here's a quick chart of the auto mode icons on the mode dial, what they look like, the name of them, and a quick description of what they do. I am not going to read this whole chart to you, but we can pause the video so you can spend a little time reading through it yourself. We will learn these through an activity of taking pictures very soon. The creative or manual modes are the most challenging modes on the camera, but we're going to get there and learn how to use them. The manual exposure mode, or the M mode, is the one where you get to have total control of your camera. The S mode is the one where you select the shutter speed and the camera selects pretty much everything else. The A mode is the aperture priority mode, where you select your aperture or f-stop, and the camera tries to pick the shutter speed that it thinks will make the picture turn out the best. Finally, programmed auto exposure. This one is tricky and probably people use it the least, but the camera selects the f-stop and the shutter speed, but you, the photographer, can select multiple combinations of the two. Programmed auto exposure is one I like to use sometimes when I'm taking pictures of a musical or play or concert, because I have to think really quickly and the lighting changes often in those situations. The M mode is our goal to master. What I want to say is please don't get frustrated if your photos don't turn out perfect the first time. Just like anything, being a great photographer takes a lot of work and much practice. Thanks for watching!